Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Timer Tip Tuesday, which is Turkey Trot Race Day Suite for timers. Just a quick note for those of you that may have been on last week, a very similar talk was given to race directors on Thursday afternoon of last week. We are going to, much of the same slides, but I'm going to try to dig in a little bit more into reminders and things that you as the timer need to consider as you're using a lot of these tools. So again, if you did attend last week, it may be a little bit redundant for you, but for those of you that didn't, it's a great refresher for the Race Day Suite and how you can have a great turkey trot. So we are, what I think, just over 2 weeks out from Turkey Day. So hopefully everybody's got all their orders in, bibs, tags, etc. And you're starting to dial everything in for the big day. So if you've not been on one of these webinars before, you should have a toolbar on the right-hand side. You can ask questions there. I will see those live. I also have James and Shelly on the back end answering questions. So feel free to ask questions during the talk. And if you guys ask the same question over and over again, I'll pause and we'll see if we can't answer those questions midstream. So with that being said, we will get going. I think we still have a couple more people joining us, but time to get started. So again, Turkey Trot Race Day Suite for timers. I'm Chris McDonald. I am both an employee of RunSignup, but I also spend a lot of time out in the field timing and producing races myself. So if you've not spent any time, feel free to reach out and chat with me. Feel free to ask questions, bounce ideas off. Love chatting races and everything RunSignup related. Today's agenda, we're going to go through race day registration, race day check-in, and that's both for participant and volunteer, with the addition of dynamic bib assignment, race joy, results, race day photos, and then the other functions of check-in, which some of you may or may not have used before. So on the registration side, obviously, it's the first time that your events get to put a foot forward with seeing the athletes. You are usually, as the timer, you're usually a huge piece of this puzzle. Whether it's renting out your gear for packet pickup, or tagging bibs, or labeling bibs, or setting up the check-in app, whatever it is, this is the first time that the athletes are going to see the event. And for a lot of race directors, they put on one race a year. For a lot of timers, you guys are involved with lots of events a year. So I'm saying this because a lot of times the race director will think they, crossed all their T's and dotted their I's, but you as the event timer likely understand more of the flow of the event, and they're going to ask you questions. So I always tell my team, prepping and testing things well in advance allows for us to be, mentally and physically available to answer those questions for the event. So some things to test out, and they seem very, mundane, but super important. Do you have an internet connection? Are your computers updated? What does the power situation look like? Have you done oil changes on your generators? If you're outside, do you have tents if you're going to be outside? What does the weather look like? All of these things obviously play a huge part in a successful event day. I think all of us would agree that the actual scoring of turkey trots is one of the easier things on the year, because they're usually not doing super complicated scoring, usually don't have a lot of splits or anything like that. So it really comes down to bandwidth, because most turkey trots are larger, or you don't just have one event that day, you might have 5 events that day. And so in order for your day to go well, everything needs to run smoothly. So also by helping the event set expectations for the athletes, you can limit confusions and limit questions. So if you're helping them with their event pages, make sure you're clearly stating whether or not you're accepting on-site registrations, or have a conversation with your event directors in advance as to the types of on-site registration options that you can provide. So if they don't understand what that means, obviously you'll want to walk them through, possibly having a QR code for people to scan on their phone, or you renting the event kiosks such as Chromebooks or laptops that they can use the on-site registration mode with fast registration options. So you do need to ensure you have registration open at RunSignup if you are taking online registrations. And again, as you are kind of thought of as the professional in this scenario, because most everyone else is a volunteer, you're going to want to train those volunteers and staff on how to handle questions or handle issues. So this might mean making like a one-pager of how to use the check-in app, and which configuration to use when you log in, and to change, ensure that you're using a unique name on the device so that you can go back in and run reports after the fact, or helping people understand the flow of that packet pickup. Again, if you're just slinging mats, then these might not pertain to you, but most of us on race day and packet pickup day are very involved with other pieces of the puzzle other than just timing. So obviously most events are holding registration during packet pickup. So the RunSignup on-site registration page can be used as a registration station at any point after it's turned on. So some events they set up registration stations at like running stores, again, or maybe they have packet pickup running for multiple days. You can push them to have these kiosks or rent them these Chromebooks well in advance. And the reason why I'm saying that, some of you might be like, oh, that's too much of a headache, but is it better than having to enter however many 100, 200 paper registrations on race day? And especially if you're, up north where maybe it's going to snow, or just about anywhere else where it might rain, or we all know that the people that are filling out those forms, they're not filling out everything they need to. So maybe you're getting somebody's gender but not their age, or vice versa. Or you have a 5K, 10K, they don't select which event they're actually doing. So by utilizing the on-site registration through RunSignup, you're going to limit that because it's going to mandate those fields. Having multiple types of on-site registration can help decrease lines, which is going to help alleviate stress on your volunteers and on your race director, which means you're getting less questions because they have more bandwidth to handle things race related. And then also pushing them to promote those price increases and what their deadlines are for registration items. It really helps people register in advance. And I just keep coming back to getting people to register in advance, because the more people, if you're doing manual entry, the more people you have to enter in manually on site, the bigger headache it's going to be for you. So just a reminder for the on-site registration side, if you're, a lot of times we will help make posters for our events, and we'll create a unique QR code for them. And that can be actually found on the back end of RunSignup under promotion and links. And if you scroll down, you'll see these QR codes. There's a number of different QR codes that you can use, but specifically we're talking about on-site registration. You can also set up on-site registration for fast registration on using mobile devices over certain dates. I specifically like to get them to register using everything, like filling out all the questions, all the pieces of the puzzle, because they're not standing in line waiting on anyone else. So they're on their own device, and so they can usually auto-fill most of that information pretty quickly. So how do you get to on-site registration? Well, under RaceDay tools, if you open it up all the way, you might have to click the show more button. You'll see on-site registration here. You can enable it by hitting on. So this right here, this link is not the link for on-site registration. This link, this QR code is if you're going to set up other devices with a camera to be on-site registration kiosks. So that's what that link is. This password, this on-site registration password, is the password to get into that on-site registration kiosk. You only need it one time to get in. And so please do not make this your RunSignup password. This specific event, I'll tell you right now, this on-site registration password is Reg1. I always try to put my hint as the password, that way, because none of these are creating any value for anyone else, because they're hidden on the back end of RunSignup. So, and as well, same as cash password, if you're going to allow cash or check payments or offline payments, you will need to set up a cash password here, and on the same page is where you do it. Underneath that, you can also allow bib assignment during this on-site registration, like during the same registration process, and you can customize the required fields that you collect. Now, this button at the bottom is, once you toggle that on, it's going to turn on-site registration on only. So no one going to the website is going to be able to register. They're all going to be pushed to register at your kiosk. Now, some people like this, others don't. So just please be mindful that if you click this, online registration will be disabled at your normal website, and that includes the QR codes, etc. So only these kiosks are going to be able to be used. So some best practices: turn on on-site registration today or tomorrow and test it out. Register yourself or register a friend. Give yourself a 100% off coupon or something like that. You can always defer or cancel or whatever to your registration, so you're not messing it up. But that way you can demo this to the volunteers, and you can make sure that everything else is running smoothly. You can set the home page on your devices to the on-site registration page. The reason why I tell people to do this is because that way, if anything, if anybody starts fooling around and closes out of the website, when you open up your Chrome or Safari or whatever you're using, it'll open up directly to the on-site registration page. Write down your on-site registration password and cache password. And again, don't make this the same as your RunSignup password. Print out those QR codes for regular registration and place it around packet pickup. That way, people don't want to stand in line. They don't have to. They can just scan it and register right there. I usually say put those out before they get to packet pickup. That way they don't get all the way up to the packet pickup line, stand in line, and then realize, oh, I haven't registered, I need to do that now. And if you're gonna have limited or no access to internet, plan on cutting registration off online before you download the last time, so you have printed copies on site. So some things that you could suggest to your event to help streamline things: group discounts and referrals. So this referral tracking will help, like by turning on referral tracking under promotion and referral tracking, you can then save it and turn on some advanced options which allow, if you get 4 or 5 people to register with your link, then you'll get some money back. And the reason why this is positive is because most of us timers work off of a per person basis. So as the race grows, as we help our races grow, in theory, we're going to get paid more as well. So, it's a symbiotic relationship we have with these events. And so it's in our best interest to help these events grow and succeed. So turning on referral tracking, once you actually have it turned on, now you can go and put those actual settings in, and like allow after 5 registrations, you get $20 back. And if your races are hesitant to use this, no one can actually make money doing it. You can't get more money back than actually was paid. Some things that we talk about a lot pre-race in our normal Timer Tip Tuesdays, and that's this email marketing feature of QR codes. This is going to help you if you're using the check-in app, and it's going to speed things along. I think that the last time I tried to do a count of how many people someone could check in on QR versus non-QR, the QR code person could check in someone every 6 seconds. So about 10 people per minute, which is pretty darn fast. However, if we had to search for it, they sat around 20 to 30 seconds per person. So, I mean, it's potentially up to 5 times faster of setting up these QR codes. So by going into your email and utilizing this QR code, and then you can under the QR code type, you can set it to the I think it's, sorry, my the custom URL, I believe. And oh no, there's actually, if you scroll down a little bit farther, it's registration ID for packet pickup. Align that to center as a placeholder, and then once you see it on the device, it will come up with a QR code. I'm sure if you scan this, it'll be like to Bob Bickle's registration, but this is what it looks like, and it's super, super easy to use. So streamlining RunSignup giveaway inventories. Again, this might not be something you're involved with as the timer, but it will help you to explain this to your events as they get closer. They've likely already ordered their shirts, and so this is a perfect time. Instead of turning off the shirt option, what you can do is you can go in and utilize the inventory tool, and that way you're managing the athlete expectations in advance of arriving on site. Super easy to use. You never have to turn off the giveaway selections, and it integrates with the check-in app. But you do have to add in a no shirt option for all of your events. So what does this mean? If you go under race, giveaways and add-ons and giveaway inventory, like underneath all of your events, you can select youth small, youth small, youth small, youth small, youth small, and say you ordered 50. Well, currently you have 0 of these available. For the youth medium, we ordered 40. Well, we currently have 5 available. So when someone goes to register, they will not, it'll say sold out on the youth small, so they'll be able to choose youth medium or something else. Now, keep in mind that if you do allow edits within the check-in app, you will be able to override the inventory amounts, and when you go in here, it'll say in red -1. So I usually suggest not allowing those overrides in the check-in app, especially to the volunteers. So it's a really nice feature to have, and it helps the athletes understand what's going on, and it helps you get rid of all the shirts that were ordered. So RaceDay check-in for participants and volunteers. Now, again, we talk about this all the time. For those of you that have not been through one of the talks previously on the check-in app, please make sure you go to our YouTube channel. You can go to youtube.com/RunSignup and just search check-in. You will have, I don't know, there's probably 15 or 20 different talks that I've given on the check-in app. So with lots of different tools, tricks, etc., to make the check-in process easiest for everyone. So why should you use it? It expedites the check-in process for participants and for volunteers. Now, when we say expedites, we're talking you're going to go from scrolling down a piece of paper that aged the moment you printed it to utilizing something that's bidirectionally syncing with registration and the database within RunSignup. It also will sync with RaceDay scoring. So if you're making changes to RaceDay scoring, all of that will be updated as needed. So it's a super easy process. I give an example of one of my turkey trots every time we talk about it, especially when people are like, "Oh, my volunteers are older. They don't, they don't know how to use technology." Test it out with one line. You probably have 4 or 5 lines of packet pickup. Have it prepped and ready to go. Test it out with one line. And what we did is we had it at one line, and you know, within 5 minutes, the person in the line over said, "Well, can I use it? It looks really easy." And then it just kind of did a waterfall down the line of packet pickup volunteers, and within 30 minutes, every single person was using it. And so all of you really have to do is show people how easy it is, and they're going to want to use it just because it's a seamless integration in with registration. And also after the fact, it can provide huge insights to you and your race organizers. For instance, there were approximately 500,000 check-ins last year for Thanksgiving weekend through the check-in app. So, and it's used at events that are big and small. It's free, and it's available on the Apple and Android, both phones and tablets. So you don't have to search for check-in. You can quite literally go in and search RunSignup, and you will see this green, two-tone green check-in button. If you've not used it before, you do need to enable it beforehand. This is something as the timer I try to do for my events, because a lot of our race directors will get things set up and maybe accidentally do things incorrectly. They just aren't as familiar with the tools as we, the timers, are. So I try to go in, enable this well in advance, test it, test out checking some people in, myself, my team, what have you, and make sure everything's working well before I send that 1-pager or 2-pager over to the event of how to use the check-in app. So you're going to go into RaceDay Tools, RaceDay Check-in, mobile app, and you're going to use a shared password. Now, again, the password is something that's going to, you're going to have to use on every single device. So please make sure that you are using not your RunSignup password. Also, if you're setting this up like today, you would need this turned on for 11/7/2023 before right now. And you can disable it, the day after the event. Once you save those settings, then you can go in and start messing with your settings within the app. So some key settings that we suggest, and that is require the bib, show camera on auto bib assignment, or auto show camera on bib assignment. This is if you're using QR or barcodes to do dynamic bib assignment. You want to make sure you're showing the giveaway. A lot of folks will use allow uncheck-ins, and that's in case you accidentally scan the wrong bib, prevent duplicate bibs, and validate bibs. So there are additional settings in there that you can play with, like events and event transfers, depending on how many events you have, things like that. So RaceJoy. RaceJoy is a huge piece of the puzzle on making sure that everyone has a great experience on RaceDay. Thanksgiving stats from 2022, there were nearly 8,000 phones tracked, with over 100,000 progress alerts and just shy of 30,000 cheers delivered to those athletes. So it's a perfect addition to your turkey trot. You can both connect your spectators, but also you can connect people that aren't actually at your event. So they can track and cheer for people on the course, and it really just engages the athlete, or sorry, the spectator, but also your virtual side of things. So a number of people are still providing a virtual option. So by providing RaceJoy in a virtual sense, it allows for virtual participants to push up their virtual results and feel like they're more a part of the event. So you can also create custom themed Thanksgiving audio, and you can schedule all of this along at mile points along the course. So benefits on our end as timers, it's a great revenue source. You can upsell this to events. It's if you are a certified timer, it is included in the purchase of your RaceDay Suite license. and you do have to use RunSignup for registration. Otherwise, your price point is around, it's $750. So it's super easy to set up and manage, especially for 5Ks. It integrates in with our RaceJoy wizard, and you don't need any additional equipment. So you can email info@racejoy.com to get your free certification course, and there's video and a quiz afterwards. Some additional features that some of them we've already talked about. The spectators can send Thanksgiving cheers. You get progress updates every mile. You get off-course alerts. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, especially if you're doing like an off-road type of event, this is great because people know that they've like taken the wrong trail, or if they go off-road or take the wrong turn on your road course, knowing that they're off course is really nice. And then the results integrations for virtual events, they can push the results up from the app, and for in-person, the results are displayed within the app. And then also, especially for larger events, this is a great tool to use for central monitoring and communication. If you go during the event, you can actually watch all the blue dots moving along the course, and which is very helpful knowing, approximately where the first and last person is. We've actually created a fake runner as our lead out cyclist and our SAG vehicle, so we know where the first person is and where the last person is. You can also use it to alert people when, if there's something happening that they need to take cover. So all of these things are great. I will say, if you're going to use it, a great thing is to remind your MC at the event, telling people beforehand, like whatever, 2-3 minutes beforehand, hey, don't forget to go in and start RaceJoy on your phone. That way, those that want to use it don't forget in all the excitement of pre-race stuff. So again, individual race participant progress, like pace and estimated finish time, can be seen. You can actually go and review this to see if people ran the wrong course, things like that. But you also get that global view of participants and operations, and you get you can access the number of people who have crossed milestones and customize the alerts. So this is what it looks like during the course of the in-person race. And so if you click on someone, you can actually see their estimated time of arrival. I know that a number of my marathons and half marathons think that this is like magic when they're like, when do you think they'll be here? And I click on their dot. I'm like, well, I think they'll be here around 8:13:15 a.m. Well, what time did they hit, mile 2? Well, maybe you didn't have a split mat at mile 2, but you did at mile 1. You can say they got there approximately at 7:11:55. So it's just having a lot of additional data at your fingertips to give to race directors and to double check people doing the correct course. So RunSignup results. We've already talked about some of this, but hopefully most of you guys have pushed results up to RunSignup. This can be done live. Obviously, you do need an internet connection, so please make sure that before you promise someone that you're going to be pushing results up live, that you do have that connection. And then also, you can go into RaceDay tools, results, and set up result notifications and links. And this very first thing is allow participants to sign up for text messages and email notification of results. If that is turned on, then when you push these live results up to RunSignup, RunSignup will send text and email notifications to the athletes of their results. So super nice feature and a value add that you can give events as the timer. Some of the other perks of results at RunSignup, when you click into a participant's result, you can see the detailed results of how they did, including splits, etc. You also get photos of the athlete, if any were uploaded to the platform. And then you can also create custom finisher certificates, and you can upload finisher videos. So RaceDay photos, we just mentioned this. RaceDay photos are a huge piece of the puzzle for improving the RaceDay experience, makes happier participants, which creates repeat participants. It's a great way of pushing like organic growth through social media. And the more people see these pictures and see people having fun, they're going to want to participate as well. So again, something as you, the timer, you might say, I don't have a lot to do with this. Well, two parts. You probably do, because you're probably providing the photographer timing data to match up so that they can tag people. But also, again, the more people enjoy the event, the more the event's going to grow, and the more the event's growing, so do you. And so it's a great shareable asset. There's only a handful of things that people take with them after the event, and that is, t-shirt, finisher medal, and photos. And so it brings participants back to the event website and continues to remind them of, how much of a good time they had. And it's also a great repository for images to use it for advertising for future events. And it, connects people. They're downloadable. They can share them directly on Facebook. And as friends and family see it, they're more than likely to join as well. So you can also upsell these or encourage the event to upsell these and put branding on that. So, if you wanted to, if you're doing all this work and you say, hey, we can provide this for you, I mean, and you get approval, you could watermark it with the timing company information on there at the bottom. So those watermarks are pretty nice features. So it's under photos and photo setup, and see right here, you can see apply a watermark to race photos. So all of this is under this photos and photo setup. Some examples, you can search for the person, click into them, and you'll see their photos underneath. And then you can also put the sponsor logos or whatever logo on there. You could use PNG files so you have clear backgrounds, whatever you want to do to watermark the photos. So some other RaceDay check-in functions that maybe you've used before, maybe you haven't. And I apologize, these kind of click through a little bit fast, but you can use iPads or other tablets as result kiosks. Within the check-in app, under general options, which is this, you can go to my device settings and lookup mode. You can go into kiosk mode and results. So if you see general options, go down, lookup method, go to kiosk, and then look up result and go to view results and save it. Now, when you go in to type somebody in 300 and search, you'll actually see a result instead of see someone for check-in. And this times out after 15 seconds. You can see it at the top, how it starts to count down. So it's a nice way of providing a kiosk. So this is a little bit slower, so you can see if there's no result found, it says no result found. And then if someone is 50, it'll show their information and times out. So, and this is what it looks like in just still shot. So you go to view results within the lookup result. And when you type in their information, it brings up their information, it counts it down from 15, and then it resets it. So someone's information is not just sitting there. So there's also a change mode. This can be used for a lot of different purposes. So same thing under general options, my device settings, and lookup method is kiosk mode, and the lookup result is update registration, which is right there. And so you can choose what fields you want to be visible. And as those things are visible, you can update them. Now this could be like yes, no, or we've used this kind of thing for medical so that they can see all of the information for medical, but they can also say yes, they were seen in the medical tent. And so by updating that, when you search for it, it brings things up, and I'm just giving a bunch of different examples here. So you can change their shirt and corral and all that, but in terms of medical, you could see were they seen by medical, or you could change this to just medical, and it's not an update, it's just a view participant, and it's showing just the person's name, age, sex, e-contact, e-phone, and any medical conditions they might have. So a lot of different functions you can play around with. There's a lot of other fun functions that you can do in terms of, you could do this as an update at whatever, donut stop as to how many donuts they ate or something like that. So all of these things can be used to engage athletes and just improve the experience. So just as a reminder, we covered that race day registration. You do have to have it turned on. Race day check-in, we talk about it all the time, and dynamic bib assignment. Please make sure you have internet connectivity if you're going to be doing this. RaceJoy really helps engage those virtual athletes and spectators. Results goes without saying, we're timers producing results as part of our job, but utilizing the result functions at RunSignup really helps kind of stretches your legs and flexes your muscles as these tools help back us up as timers. And because they link into photos, they link into the finisher videos and the award or the finisher certificates. And then also, if you want to get creative, you can use some of these other result kiosk and medical tent functions for the check-in app. So some reminders as we're going through things. There is a timer survey that is out right now. We do this annually. It is something that we publish, and we find that the industry thinks it's quite valuable. So we would love your feedback on that. It's open for another 8 days. And I think Shelly is going to send out a link to that through the chat. And then also, we are currently taking nominations for the Alan Jones Timer of the Year Award. And so those nominations will be open until November 30th. This is a quite prestigious award. Some really, really big timers nationwide have received this. So if you have a timer in mind that you think is deserving of this, please reach out to any of us on the team, and we'll pass that information along. Also, we are going to be doing a timer tour. We haven't done this in years, so we're really excited to hit the road again, and we'd love to meet up with you. So we're going to be going over updates in the technology and answer questions, things like that. So this is happening. The first one begins January 16th in Houston, then heading to Charlotte, February 6th, Detroit, February 13th, and then finally Denver, February 27th. All of these are going to be from 2 until 7 p.m. with complimentary drinks and light dinner provided. So we would love to see you. I'm sure a lot of your industry peers would love to see you. So come hang out and let's talk shop. And again, it's always great to see people face to face. So thanks for joining. I don't know if we've had any questions today. I'm sure we've had a few. So anything that we need to chat about?
Good shape, but yeah, we'll hold it open here for a few minutes if anybody wants to type something in.
And again, if you haven't heard me say it before, I'm going to say it again while we're waiting to see if there's any additional questions. Test things out in advance. This is not just testing out RunSignup stuff. This is also, making sure race day scoring or race director is updated, making sure that you've turned on your decoder since last weekend and updated things to daylight savings time. We had plenty of people Sunday morning freaking out that their times were wrong, and I can't imagine why. Why? Because the time change happened at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. So make sure everything's good to go with all of your devices. you know, Thanksgiving morning and the Turkey Trot events are busy in and of themselves. You don't need to pile on additional work by not having just double and triple check that you have everything you need. So, you know, make that checklist of everything needed today and double check it next week. And then make sure you packed everything the following Tuesday. And so when you show up to packet pickup, you are ready to go, and everyone else is as well. So I think that's probably all of the questions that we've had. So if there's nothing else, really appreciate you guys joining today. This has been recorded, so it will be emailed out and it'll be available within our knowledge base. And thank you guys so much for joining.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Ready or not, here I come. I don't know that you're grasping the rules exactly. Oh, I found you too, here at the end of the video. Hi. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos from us, you can subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, then all. That'll get you alerts whenever we post new videos. If you can give us the old thumbs up, we greatly appreciate that. And we'll catch you in the next one.